Okay, we're live on YouTube. Yeah, the backgrounds are cool. Thanks to Ryan for pulling that off. Okay, I launched a poll for Juneteenth. Take a second, and if you would, fill that out. It's anonymous as well. Kind of going through the categories. You might watch a movie or a show. Maybe it's by a Black director, producer. Maybe it's about Black history. You might support Black-owned businesses. Might read a book, again, could be by a Black author, could be about Black history. Go to a celebration or gathering. You might just do your thing this weekend, or some combo of all the above. So take a second and go ahead and fill that out if you would. And we'll get started in a couple minutes. What's immersive? That's new. Has anyone tried this yet?
What is it?
So it's a view. So let me see what it does. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me try this. Whoa. That's pretty cool. Can you guys see it or no? You can't see it. Okay, so if you want fun, okay, go to view if you've updated Zoom recently and click on immersive and you can choose your view. So right now I've chosen a stadium view. So right now all of you look like you're sitting in a stadium. And I wonder if I could share my screen just to give you a sense of that. Wait, I gotta make sure there's nothing else here. Hold on one second.
I can see it, Alan. The stadium view. I can see it.
You can see it on my screen?
We see it. We see it.
Oh, you see it?
I'm looking at it. Like we all look like we're in a stadium.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Oh, I don't see it.
I don't see that.
I don't see it.
So clearly we haven't updated our Zoom.
Y'all haven't updated your Zoom.
All right, here's an art gallery one. Here's an art gallery one. So, you know, see this.
Okay, you have to share your screen so those of us who haven't updated
Okay.
can see that.
All right, hold on, I'll do that.
Well, you look at the speaker view, then you see his view.
Oh,
Okay.
is that right?
Yeah, we see everything you're putting out on the screen.
Speaker view, I just see you, Precious.
So just for fun.
Oh, because I was speaking.
I still see you because you're still speaking.
That's not what I wanted.
Then let me shut up.
Oh, I still see Precious. Now I see me. Hey.
Wait, do you see it or are you looking at my whole screen now? Like, what are you looking
Now
at?
we're looking at your whole screen. The
Oh,
whole.
we can do that. So let's go with yeah, what Precious said. That's wild that I couldn't do that. So yeah, this is kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
Teams does the same thing as well. I know they use it.
Now everybody look like they in picture frames.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's the art gallery street. Now we're in a boardroom.
Okay.
Now it looks like our
No. All I see is a blank screen behind you.
Yeah, that's
Oh wow, I see the boardroom. Oh, that
Yep.
is neat. Yeah.
See, that's because you guys haven't updated. You gotta update. That's what happens when you don't stay current. All right, this is I don't know what this is. This is pods or something.
It looks like a game show type thing, like we're in a game show. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what this one is. We could go into the kitchen, but it only seats 2. We're in learning pods right now. There's a classroom. I don't want to be a classroom. There's a fireplace. Fireside chat. This is just 2 people. But let's see. Hey, it's me and Ryan. Look at that. Hey, we can have a fireside chat, right? So this is really fun. Let's just do this for the next hour. How about that? No, let's go back to the auditorium. Because that sounds like fun. There we go. That's kind of cool though, right? All right, so if you're just dropping in, be sure to check out the Juneteenth poll. And actually, I'm going to go back to gallery just so everyone can participate. And also we can show off our backgrounds. So, but that's a cool thing, cool feature. Yes, so what are you going to do to recognize and celebrate Juneteenth this weekend? It's tomorrow. You might watch a movie or a show, you know, maybe a Black director, Black producer, Black actors. Maybe it's about Black history. You might support Black-owned businesses. You might read a book. No one's planning on doing any reading of books or watching movies or shows. I find that really interesting. There's some great ones out there. I'm still working my way through Obama's book. I'm about halfway. It's really big. And you might go to a celebration or gathering. You might just do your thing or some combo of all the above. So go ahead, take it. It's anonymous. So far, we got 28 out of 29 people who have taken it. It is anonymous. Very cool. We'll get started. It's 2:38. All right, so let's get rolling. And I just want to welcome everyone to Town Hall. And thank you for taking the time to join us, and wish you happy Juneteenth in advance. We're going to take some time in a little bit to talk a little bit about Juneteenth. And just, let's see, I want full screen here. Sorry. Okay, that's better. So I wanted just, let's start with COVID update. And this one is actually going to be pretty quick, to be honest. Thank you, Precious, for sending me the stats. They remain unchanged, which is a great thing. It means that for the second week in a row, we have no new active cases across all of St. John's, either people we support or staff. So that's phenomenal. And I think it's worthy of applause and celebration. It's great, tremendous. And it shows the power of vaccinations, I would say. I would make that argument. We've got over 250 people that we support vaccinated now, and staff vaccinations continue around 165 in terms of self-reporting. I do want to say that we are seeing states require kind of how many people have been vaccinated, and so please upload that data. So once you've been vaccinated, if you could upload that into Paycom, that would be incredibly helpful. Thank you for doing that. Otherwise, I think that we are good on COVID and vaccines, which is really remarkable. And I just want to continue to thank you all. You know, I think now we are going to have a decision in terms of how much longer do we take time to report COVID stats? And, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit and then decide. So I think that it's definitely a good thing to see the numbers where they are. That's something that people have worked really hard towards, a lot of sacrifice to get to this point, and just certainly worthy of celebration, a great place to be. And along those lines, I've been thinking that, at least in DC, and I don't see why this wouldn't apply anywhere else, that we'll probably target post-Labor Day for the official reopening of our offices. So we'll still continue to operate in a hybrid model. And so, you know, you'll work with your supervisor relative to whether you're going to the bathroom, whether you're going to be working from, you know, remote somewhere. I think that, you know, we're at a place where with the vaccinations, that was an interesting sound. Maybe I will be.
That wasn't me.
So, hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So let me mute everyone now. Let's just take care of that. Okay, all right. I'm gonna assume that is someone that is working in a house right now, supporting someone. And that person may have had to use the restroom. So that's okay. Anyway, as I was saying, we are going to look at officially reopening offices. I know in DC, we've got a lot of work to do. So if you are a regional director, your program manager, you're in and out of the office, it might be worth kind of creating a punch list of things to knock out and complete prior to everyone officially coming back. I know that there's gonna be some projects we're gonna do around 901D just to get that ready. So, but yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I've been in the office a couple times. I'm seeing people come in and out, which is great. And it's gonna be great to be back together, you know, and we'll also be looking at how to celebrate being together as an agency again, in person in various different ways, probably this fall. So after we reopen, we'll probably target some celebrations as well. So, okay, we have our poll. We've got about 30. Again, it's anonymous. So nobody's gonna know your response, but it's a great opportunity. I'm just gonna go through them one last time for you to decide how you are going to recognize Juneteenth. Maybe you're gonna watch a movie or show. We'll talk about some good ones out there. I'm sure we'll have some suggestions from people, which is great. And then maybe you're gonna support Black-owned businesses, maybe read a book. We're not big readers in this group. I just want to keep pointing that out. Go to a celebration or a gathering, maybe just gonna do your thing or some combo of all the above. Right now, it looks like supporting Black-owned businesses seems like the leading one, which sounds awesome. So maybe we can talk more about that. Before we get into our Juneteenth conversation and updates, one of the things I want to do is just kind of remind people we're in open enrollment. And so that's happening right now. I'm sure we'll hear more about that by way of update. I went on Paycom today. I went through my open enrollment on my phone, and it was able to get about 98% of it completed. So I need to kind of get back in, review, make some final decisions, and then finalize. Process was pretty easy, to be honest. I had a couple of issues on my phone, trying to work through some of the fields. If you make a mistake, you kind of refresh the entire page, which can be frustrating at times. But aside from that, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure that you are selecting your right option, making sure you're adding in your dependents, making sure that you've got all of your beneficiary information, your correct contact information. I don't know, to be honest, if all that stuff came over from ADP. So again, you just need to make sure that you check your info, okay? And make sure that everything is as it should be while you're going through open enrollment. And that runs through the 20th, okay? So we purposely gave people 2 weekends, but that will fly, right? Time will go by really quick. And so be sure to take the time, especially since you're doing it for the first time on Paycom. I think this is the first time we're doing it on Paycom. I could be wrong on that. But if it's your first time, give yourself some extra time. Don't wait till the last second. Give yourself some extra time, because you'll need it to go through the different options. There are some changes in plans. You want to review those. There's changes in the health plan. The dental plan pretty much stayed the same. We're switching from task to BRI for flex and HRA. You'll have one card to use, which is great. But it's worth giving yourself some time to make sure that everything is okay, right? All right, let's end our poll here, and let's just kind of see where we are. And we'll just I'll share results in a minute. Before we get into that or take some time to talk about Juneteenth, let's pause here and just go around the table, around the room for any updates. So if anyone has anything they would like to update the rest of us on, that would be tremendous. Go ahead and take yourself off mute and go ahead and do that.
Hi, everybody. It's Gloria. Can you hear me? Hey, happy Friday. Happy Juneteenth. Happy all those good things. Happy weekend. So just to Alan's point in terms of the open enrollment, please don't forget to enroll. The 20th is Sunday. So you don't have much more time. So please go through and complete your open enrollment. Just a reminder, you have to re-enroll, right? So just because you're enrolled now, if you don't want to make any changes, that's fine, but you do have to re-enroll. So please, please, please re-enroll. Also, if you, thank you, Charlie. I was gonna make another point. Oh, please, please, please update your beneficiaries, update your dependents. If you have a new phone number, if you've moved, all those things are really, really important. So please update your file with all of the your updated information, again, including beneficiaries and dependents. It's super, super important. Okay, let's see. I don't think I have anything else in terms of open enrollment. Well, no, what I will say to that point is that open enrollment is going good. To Alan's point, it's going really, really well. And we had our session a couple of days ago. We had several folks to call in to answer their questions, hopefully to their satisfaction. We also had a Zoom meeting at the same time. Some folks logged in, and hopefully we answered their questions to their satisfaction. We also have the Benefit Service Center who was available to answer questions as well. So we hope that you had a really good experience this year with open enrollment and also with Paycom. It is super easy in Paycom. So again, if you haven't done it, please do so by Sunday. And all the benefits, the new the new plan year starts July 1st. So we need a couple of weeks to get everything rolling after the enrollment is completed. So again, you have until Sunday. Let's see. The only other thing that I think that I have is I want to make an announcement. I hope she's she's logged in here. I don't see her, but Diamonia Mack, who is one of our recruiters, has a new role. She's a new title and a new role. Her new title is lead recruiter. And so that new role took effect sometime late May. And so I don't see if she's here. Alan, do you see her here? I don't see her.
Let me check.
Okay. So well, I'll just tell you a little bit about what that new role means. So for the most part, Dominique will be responsible for ensuring that the entire, what we call the recruiting life cycle, happens for all vacancies across all the geographic markets here at St. John's. That includes sourcing resumes, screening, interviewing, the entire process, everything from looking for a resume to getting the new hire on board, right? And so she is the lead person to help our other recruiters, both Terry and Bethany, and even our SOMs, and in some cases, the staffing coordinators, to go through that whole process in a nice, clean fashion to help us with advertisements and et cetera. So we think Dominia is the person for the job. And so she accepted the challenge. And as of, again, sometime in late May, I think it was May 24th or so, she accepted that new role. So it is going to take a little bit of time, a few weeks to get the ball rolling. She has, or she hasn't met with you yet. She will meet with the senior leaders through all the states to really learn more about your programs, et cetera, to learn your challenges. And what it is you need from recruiting, from the recruiting arm of human resources. So we're really, really happy that she, again, accepted the challenge and looking forward to making a difference. Again, give us some time to sort of get the ball rolling, but she's up to it. So Dominia, are you here? I don't see her.
Now I was scanning all, and I didn't see her.
Okay, no worries. All right, so that's all there. Let's see, are there any questions or anything for me, for HR?
I have a question, Gloria. But since we're moving from task, will any leftover benefits still roll over and be usable?
Yes, very good question. So you have $500 that will roll over from your FSA, from your flexible spending account. Those are your dollars that you contributed for your healthcare needs, right? So anything
up to $500.
That's right. Yeah. So you have to use, it's use or lose, right? If you don't use it by the end of the month, it goes away. But if you have up to $500, you can roll that over into the next plan year. And it will roll over from task to BRI. So we've worked all that out.
The cool thing too with BRI is you're gonna have, if let's say you have both the HRA, like you might be participating in the high deductible plan, right? You'll have both the HRA and you might also do flexible spending. All of that's gonna be on one card. So with Task, that's a 2-card deal right now. All of that will be on one card. So we're really excited about that. It should be a lot easier. Also, their processing of claims, I think, is daily, if I remember correct. But it's much more frequent than with Task right now. So, you know, we made this move feeling that it was going to be a good move all the way around for everyone. So.
Hey, Gloria,
Yes.
I have a question. I probably could just email or call you, but others may have the same concern. So for Task, when we were working in the offices, we were able to put money on, like, come out of our checks and go straight to a parking benefit. I called Task and they said that they were not able to give that money to us, like to give it back to us because it came straight out of our checks. Is that going to be able to be rolled over to the new system as well? Or because it's different from flex pay, it's different from the high deductible, you know, FSA plan. This would be money that came directly out of our checks. But if we don't use it, will that roll over as well? Because I know some people actually have like well over like $400 worth of parking in this little plan just sitting there.
Yeah. You know, I don't know the answer to that. Alan, do you know the answer to that one?
I don't. I think you're talking about the transit or the commuter plan.
Yeah.
So I don't off the top of my head. We can certainly get an answer pretty
We
quick.
can get an answer.
So
Okay.
find
Okay.
that out. So,
A great question, Brittany. Thank you for that question. I will find out. I don't
yeah,
know.
I think, Gloria, I wonder if you shot a quick email to Stephanie. She might be able to give an answer while we're still on town hall and
Okay.
chime in later. So
I'll give her a call.
yeah, I would like to believe, Britt, that if there's balances remaining, that can roll, but I don't honestly know off the top of my head. I know with the FSA, the way we set it up, it was up to $500. I don't know if there's different restrictions or rules on the transit for the commuter piece of that. So we'll look into that. So anyway, that's kind of, you know, we're touching on open enrollment there, and certainly want to make sure that you take advantage of your benefits. And so please go ahead and finish that before the 20th.
Did you say that, I'm getting back to you because of you. Did you say that both the high deductible plan and the flex benefits is $500 each up to rollover?
No, I don't know about the HRA because those are, I don't think so on the HRA, but definitely on the flex plan, the FSA it is.
Yeah.
So again, that could be a Stephanie question.
Yeah, I can find out for sure when I call her in just a few minutes, but typically the HRA, there is no rollover for the HRA because those are St. John's dollars.
That's by St. John. So typically that's, if those dollars aren't used, they're returned to
Correct.
St. John's. And then we turn around and use them again when we see, you know, quarter by quarter. So
absolutely, that's correct.
And we actually, for the HRA, because we saw the deductible go up, we also increased the HRA dollars too. So for the high deductible plan. So cool. All right. If there is anything more, and we can always come back to that, we'll make sure to try to pause and ask other questions on the road. Any other updates? Who has an update?
Hey, Ellen, it's Bessie. I don't know if everybody can see my video now, but it's raining socks over here, thanks to Janine. She's done a great job in reaching out to Haynes, and they're donating 1,000 pairs of socks to the shelter in Ithaca. They're arriving in the next couple of days, along with, I think, 3,000 masks, something outrageous like that. So that's just the power of what Gifts and Kinds can do for you. So please make sure you reach out to Janine and Sandra with your needs, and they can work on getting those for you guys. Additionally, I'm very excited to say that now in Martin and Paris, we have the correct logo and signage up. Really excited about that. Ryan had sent around the pictures, I think that Dwayne sent them. And so Ryan's working with people in Tennessee about getting signage in other offices that need it as well. And then I'm going to punt it over to Amanda to talk a little bit about a story that she collected this past week in Ithaca.
Hey, everybody. So I spent some time in Ithaca with Janine this past week, and I talked to one of our amazing client care specialists, Thaddeus, and he told me a wonderful story about his perseverance through life and how he went from dealing with addiction and being homeless to then supporting the same people that he was in the shelter with. So that's an amazing story of second chances and hope and belonging again in your community. And those are the kind of stories that we want to hear for marketing and development. So if you hear them, share them.
So what Amanda's going to do is she's using that story to highlight in our acquisition. And I don't know if I have it up really quickly. There were just some amazing quotes when he talked about what St. John's does and about how if we're not there for them, like those souls are lost, right? And that kind of passion in that story of going from using our services to then being a part of how we give our services to people is just amazing. And Amanda's right, like these are the stories, like, you know, those are the stories that resonate with people. And when we spend time together as a group looking at what our ambition, we've talked about this before, and we'll definitely go more into this in the next couple months, what our ambition is, one of the things that they really hone in on is that people make decisions from emotion. And at my last company, we did a lot of work in looking at the psychology of why people donate. And really what things come down to, and this is when you're purchasing something, when you're making a decision about donating, you decide with your emotions and then you use your rational brain to give you the reason to donate. And so the more emotion that we can put in the ask that we do, the more that we can raise. And what does that mean for St. John's? And this was going to be part of our board presentation last night, but imagine if we had another $1 million, what could we do, right? That's a yes to John every time he emails me with a question about, hey, I've got an Oasis participant who needs this. Can you get it for me? That's a, hey, Harlan Morris, we need to update and paint this wing of the building. Okay, you got that, right? So that's why what we're doing is so important and why we reach out to you guys, because at the end of the day, what we want to bring back to you is, I'm not selling for $1 million. I think we could get to 10 million, but we have to have the stories and the base to do that. So just a plea for stories and support as we make those asks.
Yeah, thank you, Bessie and Amanda. And let me just kind of reiterate that, reinforce that. Everybody's on the marketing team now, okay? So you all are Christian, have joined the marketing team. And the way that you are your one job here with the marketing team is to make sure that they hear stories from you, okay? So we have amazing things that happen each and every day throughout all of St. John's. And Bessie's right, that's what moves people. You know, that story of life change. It moves us, right? When we're sharing, like, it motivates all of us to be doing the work that we're doing. But if we don't have the stories, it's like gas in the tank. We're not going to go very far. So I really just want to ask you that, you know, if you see something really cool that happens, you know, reach out to Amanda, reach out to Bessie, you know, like share that story, reach out to Sandra, reach out to Janine, however you get there, share the story. Okay. Cause it's really important. We have to always have the right permissions in place. We have to always honor different rules that are in place with different conservators and things like that. And we will do that, but we need to hear the stories. The other piece of that, so there's the proactive piece that you can see something, say something, but the other piece is, you know, if marketing is emailing you and reaching out to you, please respond. Okay. So don't let that just sit there. Respond. You know, there's amazing things happening all across St. John's, and we want to tell people that the more we can get that out in the community, the more people are going to come alongside us and support us over time, right? It is the stories that really move the needle. So Thank
And by
you.
move the needle, that means give us money.
Yes,
Like
that's
that
right.
moves people to give us money, not just like moves them emotionally. It does that too, but to give us money.
That's right. It absolutely motivates people to give, and that's tremendous. So, and let me just do one more thing about development, and we will do a larger development presentation down the road in the next couple of months. But one of the things I just want to kind of highlight why development is so important is, we know that with Medicaid funded programs, we're only ever going to see incremental growth in revenue, right? The rates are only ever going to go up a little bit at a time, okay? And we also know that with contract revenue. So where we have contract funding, like in Ithaca, we're only going to see kind of maybe cost of living, maybe some rates going up. But my point is that our funding streams are such that we're never going to see massive amounts of additional dollars coming our way. And so development and fundraising is a way that we can create more opportunity for mission by generating more dollars coming into the organization, right? So, and the path to that is to people's hearts, and the path to that is the story. So I just want to hopefully help you reinforce what Bessie and Amanda are asking for. So let's become rainmakers of stories, and in turn, we'll see Bessie and Amanda become rainmakers of money for our mission here at St. John's.
Hey,
Okay.
Alan, is it possible to share screen real quick for me to share screen?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you is just some rough numbers that I had done to kind of show the impact that growing our donor file can have. And when you look at the money that's raised, you get like a revenue per donor. And I kind of did some numbers kind of on a whole range, right? So right now we're less than 1,000 donors at this point. So you can see like the revenue we're getting is really not that high. Like going up to 55,000 donors, we're already at $250,000. By 10,000 donors, we can be up to $500,000, right? So we're not talking that we have to get to this 100 million. I do want to get to that 100,000 so we can get to 7 million. But, just small changes like this make a huge difference. So while I'm aiming for higher than 100,000, this is where we can start. And you can see that is a huge impact. So I just understanding that it doesn't have to be like, oh, we need a file of 100,000 before we really start to see that impact on what we can do for you guys. This can make a huge difference right now.
No, that's great, Bessie. Thank you. All right, cool. All right, who's up next? Who would like to go ahead and share an update?
Me.
All
Okay,
right,
so
great.
I'll give a quick update for the DC Delaware region. So happy Friday, everybody, and happy Juneteenth Eve. So DC just got finished going through our PCR, and it was a long week, but I just want to give kudos to the DC team, to the HR team. We did really well, especially given the new format and all that. I just wanted to make sure I gave, shouts out to, Kim, John, everybody, all the RTLs, everybody for making it happen. We got a lot of kudos actually for some improvement areas that we've made progress with. They were impressed with our technology, and so in our ability to utilize technology and kind of build on the platform that we had because of the Appendix K and being shut down and all that good stuff. So thank you all to DC. I just want to give a shout out to Delaware because Alfred really has come in, like he hit the ground running. I gave him a charge during the interview. He said he can make it happen. And we are seeing instant progress. We have a new person coming on Monday. And so he said he can get referrals and he's getting them. And so he's doing what he said he's going to do. So I'm excited about the things that are going on in Delaware. He's been working with Kathy and Lisa and trying to, grow the program and do what we at St. John's do. And that's make everyone have the best possible life, period. And so, but yeah, so that's pretty much all for DC and Delaware that I have. I'm not sure if anybody else has anything. I know we should be starting our agreement with Station MD, which is going to be really, really, really big. I'm excited. Everyone that's on the tech committee knows that I am super excited about Station MD and what it's going to do for us at St. John's. And so thank you, Steve, for being the plug for that and making that happen. And Ryan with all the Canadian talk. I love Canada. I wish I can go, but they're not allowing us in right now still.
Yeah, one day you'll go.
One day I'll go back from Buffalo. I used to go all the time, but now they act like I'm foreign. But yeah, so just everybody have a great holiday weekend. I'm off today, so I'm gonna hop off right now. Just wanted to give my quick update for DC and Delaware and to say thank you to the team and for making it happen and holding things down. And you guys have a great day.
Hey, Britt, before you go, for people that don't necessarily work in the IDD space, can you let people know what PCR stands for?
PCR stands for Provider Certification Review. It is the DC's licensing audit or review period. So we have contractors come in and they basically assess all that we've been doing for a certain period of time and say if we're doing a good job or we're doing a bad job. And so far we are doing a good job.
Very cool.
And so, and one last thing, I did want to make sure that everyone who maybe did not get the email is aware that Sean's services have been confirmed for Monday, the 21st at Pope Funeral Home, and the wake is at 10 to 11 and the funeral is at 11 or follows. And so all those who wish to go and support the family, support the team, support her family. I said family twice, but that's the day and time. And it went out in the email. We can resend it in the email as well.
Cool. Thank you, Britt. All right. Who else is next?
Me.
All right, Precious.
Yeah. No, in the spirit of what Brittany was talking about, I love that. So it just was a great segue to talk about the technology and give some kudos. I definitely am super proud of Team DC and Team Delaware and seeing all the things that they've been doing. And I was so excited. Actually, that made my day when Britt was texting me that they were giving shout outs to the technology. And I also want to give a shout out to Ryan and the marketing team, because based on that flyer that we created, Carl has been receiving tons of communication and referrals to us, to the point that I was like, wait, hold up. we need to figure out how we can handle all of that. So that is pretty cool. And thank Team DC for continuing in their efforts to do all the technology pieces that were put in place and to really expand it. It really means a lot. I want to give a big shout out. Everyone knows that we've been working on our SHIF accreditation for some time now, and that it's an agency-wide thing, and that we all are involved in it, home office and all the states. But Tennessee, Team Tennessee has officially received their passing grade for all the criteria necessary to now qualify for SHIF accreditation. Again, that accreditation goes state by state, and then we get the agency-wide once all states go through. So I want to give a big shout out to Tennessee. We did get some feedback on our tech plan. George, we got internal feedback. George loved it. But more importantly, we got some feedback from the SHIF accreditation body. And so we took that information, and the team worked yesterday very hard on modifying and adding some extra pieces. Alan hasn't heard yet the new cry we have in the Innovation and Tech Committee. And nobody says it better than Dwayne and Ryan, so I won't even attempt to say it. But there's some new word or verbiage around that. We haven't even shared with marketing, and I don't know how that would play out, but they did a wonderful job. So now the information we received from Tennessee regarding Tennessee's tech plan, the rest of the states are using that to incorporate into their current tech plan for the other states. And we feel like we'll just do better each time we submit a state tech plan. So kudos to Team Tennessee. Thank you very much for leading the way. And I'm super excited about what that does for our organization going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And last night at the board meeting, Precious highlighted enabling technology and remote supports and gave probably the longest presentation so far that we've been able to do in front of the board on this topic, and just how important it is to our future and the strategy behind it and how we're going to continue to push in. So this is an area, just like development and fundraising, that we are going to be making investments in the future, because we need to, in order for the returns to be there, and we need to grow this program. So the impact is only going to increase and get bigger, and really, really exciting things going on. And I also want to piggyback off of what Precious is saying, just say thank you to all that went through the hard work of shift training. I know it takes time to do that. I know you're juggling a lot on the daily, and it really, I was very impressed with the training and the program itself, but really want to thank you all for participating and throwing yourself into that. So it's just a tremendous thing for St. John's. Okay, who is up next? Who would like to share?
I'll do a quick little note. A couple of months ago, got a call from a former board chair who has begun working with a startup group called Parachute. And what they're looking to do through this online platform and outreach is to connect celebrities, entertainers, sports figures, and others with nonprofit organizations. And the idea is to get them connected with not-for-profits that have been vetted, through this group that are aligning with the interests of those celebrities, and having the celebrities begin to donate to those causes. But even more importantly, the idea is for those celebrities to bring in their followers to those not-for-profit organizations, through this platform that they're developing, so that you get donations not just from the celebrities themselves, but also all of their followers. Alan and Bessie and I had a meeting with this group, I think about a month or so ago. Bessie and I met with them today, taking a look at how their platform is evolving. And it's really kind of exciting. We've talked for a long time about, wouldn't it be great if we had some well-known figure that could kind of adopt us as, their cause and do a lot of promotional work for us. But this is that kind of opportunity that we may be connected with not one, but multiple celebrities and all their followers. So it's pretty exciting to see. They're looking at a November 1 launch date. There'll be some work that we'll be doing through the summer and early fall to get ourselves ready for that. But I think it's got a lot of promise. And the nice thing is there's absolutely no cost to us. And they're really looking to just do some good work in connecting organizations like us with people out there that can help make a difference with respect to fundraising. So really, really excited about this, honestly.
Awesome. Thank you, George. That's great. All right. Who's up next?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy, I feel like my update has already been given because so many good things have been said about Ithaca already. We just love it when Janine comes here, and she does such great work in getting us donations. I think, Alan, you know this, and I think Rich does, and I can't tell you how important clean new socks are to people that are homeless. It is the #1 need and thing that people want. And 1,000 pair of socks, I'm telling you, that's going to go a long way here in Ithaca, New York, and it's going to be greatly appreciated. I can guarantee it. So thank you, Janine, for all that hard work that you do. I'm going to be here Monday. I'm told that it's a 90-pound box. So I'm going to be ready to do a little heavy lifting on Monday morning. Also, just to sort of kudos to Thaddeus. He does have a great story. I've heard his story. He's a great guy. Not only does he have a great story, but he does a tremendous job. He's a hard worker and does a really, really good job, as do most of our staff here in Ithaca. So we're excited about things opening up here. We've been in contact with a lot of providers who are going to come in and start doing some programming that was happening before COVID, and we're excited about getting that going again. So all of that's happening now. And happy Juneteenth to everyone. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, Roy. Yeah, looking forward to reading and hearing more about Thaddeus' story for sure. Maybe what we'll do is share it here once we've got that in play. We're both with the writing as well as the video. Maybe we'll be able to do that. All right. Any other updates? I can mention that this week I did a cool Advocates for All interview with Scott Williams of Discovery Park, Tennessee. And I'm looking forward to that coming out in the next week, I believe. Discovery Park is amazing. So it's based in Union City. And it is in Union City, and Dwayne, maybe you could speak to the size of Union City. It's not huge, maybe 10,000 residents, maybe. Amanda, I see you kind of shaking your head.
Maybe not even that.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not,
know, but it's small.
yeah, it's a rural part of Tennessee, and so it's a small town. But Discovery Park came about through a very large philanthropic gift that started with $30 million from a couple that were successful, had many successful business ventures, and were from the area, and they wanted to do something that would have educational importance and support for that region. And so they ended up founding Discovery Park, of Western Tennessee, I believe is what it's called officially, or of America. 100,000 square foot location, tens of acres. The total project was $100 million by the time it was done. And it's a museum that's really, it sounds like an interactive kind of living museum in the sense that there's so much to do, touch, experience. And so Scott is the president and CEO there, and I had the chance to interview him. They actually employ 3 of the people we support down in Tennessee, and I'm really excited to see that Advocates for All coming out. So be sure to be on the lookout for that, and I'm looking forward to next time going down to Tennessee, being sure to swing by the Discovery Park too and meet Scott and kind of get a tour and see what it's about, and maybe see the people that we support in action. They've actually been highlighted by Tennessee DIDD as well. And there's videos out there that are really good as well for that. So, and then I have something in the works that I'm hoping happens, which is for Pride Month, the next Advocates for All. Looking forward to a very special interview to highlight that. So more to come on that as well. And speaking of Pride Month, happy Pride, everyone. And I'm encouraging you for next Friday's Town Hall to show your pride. So however that looks for you, looking forward to seeing what that is reflected in our tapestry when we're next together next Friday. So more to come on that. All right, any other updates that are out there?
Hey, Alan, it's Gloria again. I don't have another update, but I'm waiting for Stephanie and or Nick to call me back. So I texted and called both. So I'm just waiting for an answer. So if I don't get one before the end of this town hall, as soon as I get an answer, I'll send a message out to the global email.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, Gloria.
Sure.
And hey, with the last 10 minutes, why don't we take a few minutes and kind of talk about Juneteenth? So I'll share the results of the poll here. And, again, supporting Black-owned businesses, 35% of people said that they were going to do that. Combo of the above was 32%, doing their thing was 32%. So lots of ways people can get involved relative to Juneteenth. And I just wanted to kind of throw out, an opportunity for people to share. Yesterday, Biden signed into law that Juneteenth would be an official federal holiday. That is enormous progress. And it's great to see that happening. We as an organization, as we go through our budget planning and as we go through next fiscal year planning, which kicks off October 1, the fiscal year does, we're starting the planning process now. We'll be talking about our holiday schedule, and our official holidays, and Juneteenth will certainly be part of that conversation as well. We were happy to be able to, for this year, in honor of Juneteenth, provide everyone with a floating holiday. So every eligible employee will be receiving an extra PTO day that will be added into their account, their accrual there. So if you're eligible for those, you'll receive one in honor of Juneteenth as well. But I kind of wanted to just take an opportunity, and whether it's in responding to the poll and maybe people have suggestions on how to recognize, like maybe you're wondering, where do I start? You know, like I noticed, you know, watch a movie or a show as an example, got really low, you know, support. I think one person said they're going to do that. If you're looking to watch some things, you know, I still come back. There's two I would highlight that I watched over the past year, which I think were both phenomenal. One is a short film about 30 to 40 minutes called Two Distant Strangers. Absolutely phenomenally well done. And I think it won an Oscar, if I remember. It definitely was nominated. And then the second one I would definitely recommend is 13th. 13th is a phenomenal movie as well, and that's available on Netflix. Both of those are available on Netflix. But if there's people out there that have suggested, Steve Sims sent out a Modern Family mashup there, so he's got something out there that he's suggesting people could take a look at. But I would just like to open it up and have people either share for them why Juneteenth is important, why it's important that now it's being recognized as a federal holiday, or like suggestions on how you can recognize in your own way Juneteenth. Like, you know, what does it look like to support Black businesses, you know, or whatever it might be. So, or a celebration or gathering. So I'll pause there and let other people talk and just kind of open it up. Any thoughts at all? Anyone? Tony, start calling on people. We had a great discussion about this at leadership team.
Hi, everybody, it's Gloria again. So what I'll say to that is, you know, being a former small business owner, it's really important to get support from everybody. I mean, dollars are dollars. And so, you know, as a small business and you're out there struggling, trying to get work and trying to get repeat work and trying to get new work, it's tough. And so what I'll say is, in any way you can support a small minority-owned business, please, please do so. Purchase the product, the service, whichever, you know, they offer, or both. But then give them referrals, right? Refer people to that small business so that they can stay afloat. They have lives and families and responsibilities, and so their way of making a living is via their small business. And sometimes the small businesses is a family small business. And so everybody's in there working, trying to move the dial and be sure that they can pay their bills and keep a roof over their heads and have food to eat. So I'd say that if you can at all, support a small business, not just this weekend, not just on Juneteenth, not just on the 19th, but every day, just as you do a majority business, it will go a long, long, long way.
No, thank you for that, Gloria. And it can look different, right? Like there's bricks and mortar businesses that are very obvious and very apparent. There's online businesses that are very apparent. There is a wine store that I like to go to, and there's a small boutique place. But what's really cool is they actually highlight on the bottles of Black-owned vineyards and wineries. And so like that's another way that you can do it. You can find places that are highlighting Black-owned businesses and buy those products from them. So there's just different ways that you can participate in supporting Black-owned businesses for sure. Other thoughts? Thank you for that, Gloria.
We can't hear you, Precious.
Can't hear me? There's usually people don't say that to me. They normally say, we hear you too much.
Hear you now.
You're loud. But I love my voice. I love to hear myself, actually. No, I'm kidding. That's what my grandmother used to tell me. But, you know, for me, I'll just share my thoughts around, you know, Juneteenth and all of that is and what it means to me. It may be different for other people, of course. But for me, when I think of Juneteenth, or I think of the history of slavery, in this country, in this world, you know, I instantly go back to what it must have been like for people to be snatched from their home, from their families, from their land, and then by force taken to a foreign land to live an unimaginable life, if that's what you want to call living. I think about the first slave ship that landed in 1619, right over there in Virginia. You know, and I think about what they might have thought. I think about before they even got on the ship, like what it took to actually capture a whole bunch of countries to, you know, prepare them for the voyage and not knowing what lied ahead. I think about the children who were removed from their parents, husbands and wives, you know, separated, men, women killed who didn't fit the bill to make it to the new world, as it was called then. I think about all the efforts of Harriet Tubman, who was fearless leader, but a leader with a disability, you know, who freed thousands and thousands of slaves from the longest voyage ever. I can't even imagine walking. I'm not walking from here to there, but to go from deep down south all the way up to upstate New York in a voyage. I don't care, you know, we didn't have no planes. So that's tremendous. And then always being on the hunt, you being the main target, and to be able to do that over and over and over again, while also having a disability. Speak to what people with disabilities can actually accomplish when they put their mind to it and when they have the opportunity. I think about that day when Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And I think about, you know, this country, how we can sign everything we want. It doesn't really have a meaning until there's action behind it. I also remember, well, not me personally, but in history, what Juneteenth was, you know, why it became a celebration. 1863, you signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Those who were there and knew about it, mainly slave owners, knew that it was signed to abolish slavery. However, it took 2.5 years, 2.5 years before the slaves knew that they were free. Signing something doesn't change anything, but it does create a direction we should try to go to, but it doesn't require anyone to do anything. And when the delivery man, it's just, maybe it was UPS, I don't know, but when the delivery man showed up with the news that you were free, it was 2.5 years later. In the time that he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, most slave owners in the deep South, you know, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, actually fled to Texas and took their slaves with them because it was known as a safe haven for slave owners to continue to do what they do, knowing the news would take that long. But when they got there, but you know, they continued to enslave, and nobody knew. The slaves didn't know. So when they finally arrived with the news that you're free, they celebrated Juneteenth. But as we all know from history, that didn't solve a thing, because slavery continued, and efforts against slaves continue. It wasn't until the 13th Amendment where we had to actually officially say abolish slavery. That was late 1865. But then after that, you have the Civil War, you have although slavery was abolished, you had other things that were put in place, other barriers to prevent people of a different descent from having those liberties that were available to us and all those things we signed. It wasn't until we got equal protection under the law, under the 14th Amendment, 3 years later, 1868, or the right to vote 2 years later in 1870. The actually protection of our voters right there didn't happen until 1965, Now we're talking about in a period that we actually could some of us can actually look back and say, I remember. Not me, but some. But, I think about all of those people who had to endure those lives. And I think about the Native Americans. I think about all the slaves who were dropped off in all parts of the New World, not just on the coast of South Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, not just there, but also in South America, the coastal region of South America, Central America. They also had to endure that. Many of my ancestors were both on the South Carolina region and also in the Central and South America region, dropped off to endure a life of slavery. And then I think about where have we gone? Everybody knows I'm a firm believer in the Bible. So there's a scripture that says, nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. If we don't continue to look back, we don't identify what things still look like the things of the past. So for us today, we still have a lot of work to do. We still have to ask permission to breathe. I can't breathe. Stop. We still have to say, please don't shoot me. We still have to say, my life matters too. Can I be included? Can you give me the same protections under all those things we signed? We still have to say, can I get a seat at the table? Can you look at me for me and not by the color of my skin? We're not there. And 156 years after, the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, which St. John's has been open for just about that same period of time. Juneteenth is for me to celebrate the strength of the people, the strength of my people, recognizing that I stand on so many shoulders and whipped backs today. So it's my responsibility to make sure I teach, train, talk, do well, because so many people died just so I can sit here and tell you this today. I'm so proud of our people as a whole. I'm so proud of my people. I'm so proud that despite all those barriers, we don't sit down, we fight, we open our mouths, we speak. We don't just lie down and allow things to happen to us. I'm proud of the people in the United States. I'm proud of the people in Central America, South America, in the Andes, in the coastal regions of South America, in the Caribbean, who endured the same thing. I'm so proud to be who I am today, and I'm proud of my ancestors for fighting. And I know they fight because I'm here. I'm proud of what we can do as an organization. I feel strong. Estoy enamorado de mi gente. Me encanta mi gente. Cuando veo como todas las culturas que se desarrollaron a partir de África han hecho a mejor de la vida, me siento fuerte. Al fin, and finally, I am super proud to be a part of St. John's Community Services, because we don't just keep quiet, we're actually having this discussion. I'm looking at my Canadian white CEO with a Juneteenth flag behind his head. And we love the Canadians. They don't always love us back, but we love the Canadians. They blame us actually for their cold air. That's what they told me when I went to Canada. But I'm looking at that and I'm saying I'm super proud. And for 100 and some odd years, since 1868, since the 13th Amendment was written, St. John's has been in existence. St. John's has always stood in the gap, I would like to believe. St. John's has always filled that void. St. John's has always been the voice for those who are voiceless, to be able to speak on behalf of someone who might not feel capable to speak on behalf of themselves, to be able to stand when everyone else wants to sit down, to continue to do that today. And I'm super proud that I can be here as a witness to that today. and look into our future. I'm super proud that we continue to be advocates for all.
Thank you, Precious. That was amazing.
That was great. Can I say something real quick? And you guys in a minute, but
Absolutely.
for this particular holiday, that was beautifully said, Gloria and Precious. When I think of Juneteenth, I think of freedom, of course, emancipation. But when you really think of freedom, freedom is actually, it's the power and the right to, ask, speak, think without a hindrance, right? Or restraint. And a lot of times we say, well, you're free to, you have liberties, you can speak, freedom of speech. But a lot of times we have to be reminded, because it's not just, I'm actually going to several events tomorrow, and it has to be in work and deed. And it reminds me that you may have a seat at the table, but do you actually have a voice? And not only do you have a voice, if you cannot have a voice, you may have to create your own table. So it's a celebration of who you are, where you came from, your past, your present, and of course, your future. And know that freedom comes with a price. It comes with a price. And I'm just happy to be amongst a diverse group, but it's always so great to know that I will say that our senior leadership, especially Alan, a lot of people do not offer opportunities such as this for someone to express what this particular holiday means to them, because we've always celebrated the 4th of July of independence. But now to know that we can also celebrate Juneteenth, an opportunity for freedom, a remembrance of freedom for another ethnicity is just amazing and awesome to be able to say that I can say St. John's Community Services understands the importance of freedom through Juneteenth and the emancipation of freedom. So that's what I think of it when I feel dealing with this particular thing anyway. But thanks for the opportunity to say that. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Sandra. Wonderful. Anybody else?
Just a quick word. This is Dion. Just to say that, us islanders, Jamaicans, Guyanese, Africans, and whoever that's not, originally from America, just to take a note that what Americans, Black Americans have done before we even got here allows us the opportunity to even come to America. If they hadn't done what they have done, we as people from the islands and different countries wouldn't be able to come to America. So it's not just, American history that the slaves and the hard work they've done affected, but it also affected people across the world. So their hard work, and like Precious is saying, the struggle is not just for Americans, but it was for everybody in the world to feel like, you know what, when something is not right, you need to stand up, you need to fight, you need to say something, no matter what. And so slaves was just a huge example of who we need to be when something is not right, and just how we are as St. John's for the people that we serve. We fight hard for our individuals. We fight hard. When something is not being done properly, we go toe-to-toe with the service coordinators. We go toe-to-toe with whoever, just to make sure that they get their needs met. And so I think that Juneteenth and St. John's, kind of goes hand in hand as far as just celebrating the things that we have worked hard to accomplish for people that we serve, but also, you know, for what was done in the past and how we're celebrated now. That's all.
Thank you, Dion. Well said. Any other comments before we wrap up? Yeah, I'm really proud of St. John's. I'm proud of the DNA that existed, you know, long before I showed up. I'm proud of leadership that has really pushed the organization forward over decades and over 100 plus, 150 years. And I'm proud of voices of people like those who've shared today so passionately about the importance of Juneteenth and the symbolism that it stands for. And at the same time, I would just encourage all of us to keep finding our voice on critical issues that mean equality for everyone. You know, I think about the active voter suppression that is happening right now. We see movements towards reparations, you know, which I think are positive, but you know, they're slow to come, and there's still a lot more work to do. And so, you know, I would say as an ally, St. John's wants to help support equality, and it wants to help support justice for all. And so let that kind of sink in for all of us and continue to motivate us. And let's continue to learn from each other and also take opportunity to learn for ourselves. And I am in this moment talking to those of us that are privileged and those of us that happen to be part of the majority. And I would encourage all of you in that regard who are like me, like take time over the course of this weekend, take time over the course of the coming year to learn, to be educated. Find the way that works for you. You know, there's many different paths to knowledge, but take responsibility for that. And it will help change your life and change your perspective. And it will make you a stronger advocate and a stronger ally. So I would just, again, particularly with this holiday, this is a big moment and we want to celebrate it, but there's still so much to be done. And let it represent, you know, one more step forward. But, you know, as allies, we need to be doing our part too. And the first part of that, I think, is listening and learning, and then go from there. So, yeah, more to come on that. Next week, again, we're going to be celebrating Pride. So be sure to show your pride next week at Town Hall. We've got backgrounds that Ryan sent out, so you can certainly do that if you would like to, but there may be other ways that you want to show your pride too. So I want to thank you all for a wonderful Town Hall. Thank you all that shared about Juneteenth from a very personal place. Thank you for suggestions on how to recognize it. And I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Juneteenth, and we will be back together next week. So take care all.
Take care, everybody. Bye now. Good weekend.
Precious.
Bye.
Was yesterday your work anniversary? 19 maybe years at St. John's?
19 years, 19 years, 19 years. Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations and thank you for everything.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Precious.
Mm-hmm.
You started when you were 2?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Keep that story going, dear man. That story going.
Lies.
Dion, and congratulations, Dion, on her engagement. Let's put that out there because she want to talk.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's the most quiet thing I've seen, Dion. What's happening, Dion?
I just showed y'all how to shut her up.
Quiet. I'll speak. I'll talk. I'll be talking again.
To be talking again, what you got to say? Put that ring up. Where are you?
I'm trying to wait a minute. I think my camera is turned the other way. What?
Put the ring up. So we can see.
Yeah.
It was great. It was awesome engagement.
Put the ring up. We want to see it.
Oh. Ah.
Congratulations.
They did a great job. They lied and lied and lied. They lied. Who they lied? Everybody lied. The whole day was a lie. Whole day was a lie. People came to do my makeup, say they met Precious on Instagram, come and find out that's her cousin. People telling me, oh, the photographer's on. It was a whole big thing about, oh, we're just gonna all dress in white and we gonna have fun and take pictures. I get there. No one is in white. Photographer is there, but then there's strangers coming up to me with flowers saying, hey, how are you doing today? Why are you here today? And I'm like, I'm looking at my friend like, wait, she backed away like a ninja in the background, and I'm just by myself, and I'm just like, why is she walking away with this crazy lady asking me crazy questions, giving me flowers? So people are coming up to me, giving me flowers, and one lady was like, congratulations, and I was like, what you talking about, Willis? And as the time went on, you know, they had a lot of balloons and they were hiding him, and it just kind of bust out with the balloons and opened up, and he came out. I'm like, I did do the ugly cry. I did. I was just like, yes. I still can't remember what he said. To tell you the truth, I remember, will you marry me, and taking pictures. I don't remember everything he said. I just remember that the marry me part, and I saw the ring. I barely saw the ring because I'm busy covering my face with the ugly cry, so the cameraman wouldn't catch it. But Tony, of course, caught it. And he repeats it as soon as he sees me, whenever he gets a chance to. If you ask Tony, he could definitely do the ugly cry.
Mm-hmm.
What I did. Is he on?
He is. He's nodding affirmatively. I'm on about the ugly cry. Yep.
So you can ask him, he did an ugly cry. like that. But no, it was a great day. I was surprised. My stomach was queasy. So it was awesome. It was great. I thank them so much for just all they did. It was like amazing.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Dion. That's really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's very cool.
All right, that's it for me.
Awesome. Well, take care, everyone.